In a world where innocence should reign, the playgrounds are empty, leaving behind a sorrowful silence that speaks volumes about the battles faced by the smallest warriors. Currently, between 800 to 1,000 children in South Africa are diagnosed with cancer annually. This is due to lack of knowledge regarding the disease and how it presents in children. Learning that your child has cancer can turn the life of any parent upside down. Join us as we bring you a show to raise awareness on childhood cancer, bring you stories of hope through the face of adversity.
So the early warning signs, we call them the Saint Silouan warning signs. Saint Silouan was an Orthodox monk who prayed on Mount Athos for humanity. So the S stands for seek help early. The I is for any unusual changes in the eye. For example, a new squint or a bulging eye, or the child can't see through that eye. The L is for lumps that are not going away. They don't have to be painful. They could be painless lumps. They may be growing, but they're not going away. The U is for unexplained fever and loss of weight. The A is for aching bones. And the N is for any neurological changes in the child. Perhaps the child could crawl and cannot crawl. Perhaps the child could walk and stops walking, or stops speaking, or has a weakness in one side of the body or the face. So that's the early warning signs. So all over the world, not only here, the most common cancer is leukemia. And of that, the most common is acute lymphoblastic leukemia. And then we see some myeloid leukemias, acute and a few chronic myeloid leukemia. So that is the most important one. The other one is brain tumors in children, and kidney tumors, eye tumors, muscle tumors, and also lymphomas. So our incidence of lymphomas has really gone up with our HIV pandemic because we have many AIDS-related lymphomas.
For this carefree teenager, what she initially thought is a simple itching eye and headache in 2022 proved to be a life-changing medical condition.
My name is Ashley Africa. I'm 15 years old. I live in Dube, Soweto. My eye started itching, and then I developed headaches afterwards. When I developed headaches, after a week, my eye started growing big. That's when Granny decided to take me to this other clinic in Pimville. It's a private clinic. Then they gave me a referral letter to St. John's. At St. John's, they ran some tests. That's when I was 2 weeks there. I was admitted for 2 weeks. That's when they took tests and made a biopsy. That's when they found out that I had cancer. Then they sent me to the Zagiti Oncology in Para. That's when they told me that I was diagnosed with cancer and I have to take treatment.
The fight against childhood cancer has been given a boost in South Africa. In 2022, the Zakiti Nkosi Pediatric Hematology and Oncology Clinic at Chris Hani Baragwanath Academic Hospital was opened in Soweto. The socio-economic realities of low-income countries, distance from treatment centers, lack of money for medication and hospitalization, and misdiagnosis form part of the challenges in both urban and rural areas.
As long as a child will die of cancer, then there's an area to research why did that child die. So I think that's really, really important. We have basic science research, we have clinical research, we have implementation science, improvement science, so there's different aspects of research. The positives with the trials is that we have access to new drugs that otherwise our patients would not have. And so for me, it's really great because if there are new drugs, it's good to know that our children, because if we look at the genetics, each region has their own genetics. So for me, how one child, for example, maybe in Switzerland would react to a drug may be a little bit different from what we do here. So I think it's important that we can contribute to international global knowledge, but also that our patients have a chance to have drugs that they may not otherwise have.
For parents of children courageously battling cancer, each day becomes a journey marked by strength, resilience, and unwavering love. In South Africa, where poverty and social challenges persist, grandparents often become primary caregivers, as in the case of Ashley Africa. Ethel Africa has had to create a sense of stability in the challenging circumstances facing her granddaughter.
When this was brought to her, or the child couldn't take it, and it was sad, painful, started crying, praying. Then I called my sisters, Ashley's siblings. We sat down and I explained to them. Really, it was a trauma to all of us. But we kept that hope and the courage that we got to go through everything.
Charity organizations supporting families dealing with childhood cancer are crucial as they fill the gaps in resources and support. The Childhood Cancer Foundation South Africa, CHOC, is the only organization in the country that provides countrywide support for children with cancer and their families.
So CHOC is CHOC Childhood Cancer Foundation South Africa. We provide support for children with cancer, children and teenagers with cancer and their families. So it was started by a group of parents where they realized that there's a big need. Many of our parents come from far away. And, these parents would often sleep on benches outside the hospital, in cars, during treatment. And these parents realized the big need for our programs. CHOC has various programs. We look holistically at a family and we try and make that journey for the child undergoing treatment and the family as easy as we can. So we have various core programs that we do run. The first is the accommodation. Parents and the child will be accommodated in our house and they will stay here with us free of charge during the period. They get taken to hospital and back daily for their treatment. During their treatment, when the child can go home, we provide financial support to the family to enable the child to go home and come back to continue with their treatment. In each of the pediatric oncology wards, we have social workers who work very closely with the hospitals, and they walk the journey with these families from diagnosis right through to end of treatment or end of life.
Children face different types of cancers, requiring dedicated research to address these specific threats. With a heart full of hope and a smile that outshines the sun, Ashley Africa embraced each new day, leaving the shadows of cancer behind. The future glimpses with possibilities, a testament of resilience, love, and the triumph of a courageous spirit.
For a family who has just got the news, yes, counseling will be needed if you want to be counseled, because sometimes you find there are other parents who don't want to be counseled. And having hope to whatever the doctors will be doing to your child, and have courage to you and the one who will be sick. And thirdly, invite God at all times.
Early detection saves lives. Let us all learn the early warning signs of childhood cancer. This saves lives. Lebo Masike, BGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa. Bye.